Hey guys, so today I thought I'd do a video on how much I love Daniel Radcliffe. He's just my idol. He means a lot to me. He's been a big part of my life and he's just epic really. So let's get started. So I think I'm going to start with my t-shirts because I have not many but a few. So this is my Daniel Radcliffe t-shirt with his name on it. It's his name obviously with a picture of him when he did Equus. It's my favourite Daniel Radcliffe t-shirt. I wear it quite a lot. It was I wore it in one of my last videos, and it's also really comfy. I think it's off Redbubble. So this is my Akio Daniel Radcliffe t-shirt that my sister got me for my birthday. This is a Mrs. Daniel Radcliffe t-shirt that my boyfriend's family got me for Christmas one year. Next up, this is one of my favourite things that my sister got me for my birthday. It's my Daniel Radcliffe pillowcase, which never fails to make anyone laugh because it's just really cool and I think it's really cute and it's just pretty epic and it scares my boyfriend. Next up, I'm going to do Daniel Radcliffe films that I've got. I do have Taylor of Panama and David Copperfield on video, but they're around somewhere because I videoed them when they were on TV years ago. And I also have the episode of Extras that Daniel Radcliffe did on DVD, but I can't find the box set. Don't know where that is. I put it downstairs somewhere. But I remember when that was on TV, and I stayed up with my mum and watched it. And if you've seen it, you will obviously see what Daniel Radcliffe played quite a rude scout kind of thing. And yeah, watching that with my mum was pretty funny. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So one of the first films Daniel Radcliffe did out of Harry Potter was December Boys. It's about a group of boys who are born in December and they get chosen to go away on holiday, and things happen to them, they want to get adopted. So the three, mainly the three younger ones, argue that they want to get adopted by this couple that live on the beach. And it's actually quite a sad film. I remember when it came out on DVD, I freaked out because for some reason it wasn't showing in any cinemas, and I was 12 when it came out, and I was on the day it came out I was at a school trip to Ford Park with the school, and I was to my mum, can you get December Boys for me? She's like, I'll try. And I got on the bus to the trip and I was like, don't forget December Boys. She's like, okay. And then throughout the day I was just going, have you got it yet? Have you got it yet? Have you got it yet? And then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon she's like, I've got it. And then I just wanted to get home and watch the film, which I did. And then I watched it over and over again. And it's just a really good film. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. OMG and My Boy Jack. I must admit, when it wasn't first on TV, I couldn't stay awake for it. I fell asleep before it finished. And because I never really knew the story of Rudyard Kipling and his son Jack, I kind of expected the ending, because if you've seen it you will know. Well, we got it on DVD because I was to my mum, I didn't see the ending, but it was £18 in HMV, £18. And I was that's a bit much for a DVD. And so the next day I was at school, my mum texted me saying, I got you My Boy Jack, and I was like, ah, bless my mother. But yeah, it's just really sad. Every time I watch it I'm just in floods of tears. But if you're into war films, I would definitely recommend it. It is really good. Next up we have The Woman in Black. I remember I went to cinema on the day this came out and I saw it with my boyfriend and my sister. Oh my god, it scared us so much. It's just really jumpy, and they're the kind of scary films that I like, and when I heard Daniel Radcliffe was going to be in one, it was yes. But on my cover, as you can see, the woman in black moves, and I also have it on Blu-ray. So, Woman in Black. Cure Darlings is quite a good film. I remember going to again, it was another film that I saw on the day it came out. I didn't actually know who Allen Ginsberg was before I saw the film, and then I really got into his poetry because you check it out when you've seen the film. But it was really cool, and Dane Hunt is also really good in it. It's also actually one of my boyfriend's favourite films, and I also have it on Blu-ray as well. It's a really good movie. Up next is one of my favourite things that Daniel Radcliffe has ever done. A Young Doctor's Notebook. When it first showed on TV, I couldn't watch it because I didn't have Sky Arts. Oh, my uncle kindly like recorded it for me, and like I had to wait because he was like, do you want me to give it back to you every week so you can watch enough episodes and give it back? And I was like, no, you can just give it to me when you finished it. So I waited 4 weeks and then he gave it to me, and it was just really good. And like dark comedy, it was pretty epic. And I was having like a really hard time at uni because like I just finished for Christmas, and like obviously it showed at Christmas time, and literally I watched it like, no joke, every night for a year. It just really got me through some like hard times at uni, and literally from Christmas 2012 I watched it till the second season came out in 2013, every night, literally every night. It's just really, really epic. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. I know it's on Netflix and it's really good, and John Hamm is really good in it as well. But I would definitely recommend it. I haven't seen season 2 as much because I didn't really like it, because I didn't like what happened. Like, if you've seen it, you can totally be like, yeah, it shocked me. I really would like a season 3 though, but when I was at Comic-Con someone said, will there be a season 3? He was like, and I was like, no. So no season 3 sadly, but if you haven't seen them, would definitely recommend them. Next up is What If, which is one of my favourite rom-coms like ever. Like when I was a teenager I was really into rom-coms. When I heard Daniel Radcliffe was going to be doing one, I freaked. I was like, ah, yes, so happy. And so basically it's just a really cute film. It's basically he meets Santry, she has a boyfriend, he really likes her, and like it's like get together. Like it's just really cool. And like you may have noticed the big What If board behind me. I went to the UK premiere of What If because I was like, I've never been to a premiere, gonna give it a go. I dragged my sister along with me for the experience, and it was alright because I got put in the like pen next to the media people who were like interviewing him stuff, so I literally got to watch all the interviews he did for like the news channels and things like that, which were really cool. But because I wasn't at the front, I didn't actually get to be like, hey Daniel Radcliffe. But I met some really nice fans there, and they were just really nice people, and like we got talking about Harry Potter and Daniel Radcliffe, and one of them actually got my book signed, which I will show in a minute. But yeah, so I went to the premiere. My sister has not forgiven me for making her stand around for 6 hours. So, and we got to see some, I would say cool people, but people from the only way is Essex were there, and I had no idea who they were, and my sister did. She was like, oh, it's them, and I was like, no idea who they were. Like literally as soon as Daniel Radcliffe went, I was like, okay. But yeah, so I waited till like literally as soon as everyone went in, everyone like started clearing out. I was like, I really want a board, and so they started cutting them. I was like, yay! And then like the car came to get Daniel Radcliffe, and he went past, the window was open. I was like, bye Daniel Radcliffe! And he like looked at me, and I was going to my sister, he looked at me, he looked right at me. And yeah, so, and then can't remember, the fan screening was before or after the premiere. I think it was after, yeah, because what I did, there was a competition to win like tickets to go like to a screening of What If where Dan was presenting it, and like I was like, I really want to go, and so I entered, my sister entered, and my boyfriend entered, and my boyfriend actually won. I thought he was joking. I was like, are you joking? So we went up to like the What If fan screening. It was really cool because I got to see it 2 like days before it was released in the UK, and it was so cool, and I literally like fell in love with it. Like What If is definitely like one of my favourite films, and I also have it in Blu-ray. So yeah. Up next is Horns. One of the most, like, when I first watched it, because I've read like the storyline and kind of think what happened. When things were happening, I was kind of like, what the hell? And then I was like, oh yeah. But it is one of the most, I think it is a really good movie. It's kind of like, again, got a bit of dark humour in there. Quite like, I watched it the other week with my sister, and it was quite funny because at the end, obviously with the snake and stuff, she kind of freaked out, and I was like, how? But yeah, it is a really good film. It's like, this is the copy that like kind of like moves, again like Blu-ray. So yeah, that's Horns. So next up I will do my books. I only have 2 Daniel Radcliffe books. This was a pretty random purchase. This is like, I don't think it's official. It's not official. Because like I was reading it and I was like, I feel like I've read these words before, and it's basically words taken from like interviews and things like that. I was like, oh, okay, that's probably why. Pretty pictures at the back. Why I feel like I've read it before, because I've literally read every like Daniel Radcliffe interview going. It has got some pretty cool pictures though, like, you know, it's like and it's just really cool, like stage work, and it was a random person, like random, and there's him now in dark, his girlfriend. But yeah, it was just, if you're a Daniel Radcliffe fan, I would recommend it. It's just, if you're like me and read every interview going, then you'll recognise the words, but it is quite good. So, yeah. I just really want him to do a real biography. That is like my dream. I've been dreaming of him doing one for like years. It'd just be so cool. But I suppose he's got loads more to do in life, so this is actually one of my most prized possessions. This is actually One Day in the Life of Daniel Radcliffe, and there's his signature where I got it signed at the What If premiere. It's basically like he was doing Equus in New York on Broadway, and he had like pictures taken of him, like, just like really cute. Like, my mum said that every time I meet him I should get him to sign a page. I was like, that is a really, because like I couldn't, like when I really wanted him to sign it, I couldn't decide which pictures I wanted him to sign. I was like, well, just try and get every picture signed. I was like, so that is like my project now, to try and get every picture signed. But yeah, it's just really cool. So Daniel Radcliffe has obviously done some plays. I didn't see the play I wrote because obviously that was like a one-off thing. I did see Equus though when I was 14, well 13, 14. Like I turned 14 just as I like saw the play. I was in a performing arts lesson, and because we had to do a bronze award, if you've done one you'll know what, like when you're in like, I was in year 9 or year 8 but you basically can do like awards, like you had the bronze award, silver award and gold award, but I never got to do my silver and gold award. It wasn't fair. But basically I chose to do my bronze award on Daniel Radcliffe, so I had to do like a presentation on him and all this. And when I was looking for pictures for my presentation, this is when I came across the news update was doing Equus, and there were like obviously the pictures of him topless, and I was like, whoa. And my teacher walked past and was like, Sophie, no topless pictures of Daniel Radcliffe in your presentation. I was like, oh, okay. But basically, and then I was like to my mate, I really need to see this play. And because it was like about a month till my birthday, I was like to my parents, can I see Daniel Radcliffe in Equus for my birthday? And because they knew Daniel Radcliffe was naked in it, I think that's probably why they were like no, because they knew one of them would have to sit through it with me, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And so my birthday got nearer. It was literally like the day before my birthday, and they were like, what do you want? And I was going, and they were like, oh, for Christ's sake, okay, we'll do the tickets. And I was just like, yes. So I made like a countdown to, like, I literally made like a little countdown to the days when I was seeing the play. But actually the night before the play I got really ill, and Mum's like, you might not be able to go. I was like, I need to go. So I literally like was really ill when I saw this play, but here is my ticket. I saw it on the 19th of May 2007. It was it was the first play I'd ever seen in like the West End, like, sorry I'm saying like a lot, but first like show I'd ever seen in like London, and my dad took me, and it was an amazing play. It was really dark. Like, if you liked horses I wouldn't recommend it, but it was like, Daniel Radcliffe was amazing. I'll never forget like when he came on stage and I was like crying, like my glasses were just like, oh. But yeah, it was just really good. And like obviously like it was so weird to see Daniel Radcliffe like smoking and swearing. It was just like, but yeah, it was a really good play. I would like, if he ever did it again, which he probably won't, because the people who play Alan Strang, who he played, and normally about 17. He probably won't do it again. And it was a really good play. I get really emotional because the amazing Richard Griffiths was also in it, and it was just amazing to see him in it. And they were like brilliant together. I couldn't go to the stage door to like meet him because I was obviously ill, but it was a really good play. Sorry, I got really emotional during this. Apologies. So the next thing Daniel Radcliffe did on stage was how to succeed in business without really trying. I was 16 when he did this, and when I heard he was doing it in New York, I was kind of like, well, is it coming over to London? And I had a friend at the time who was really into theatre, so I was like, do you think it will come to London? And he just kind of was like, no, normally when they start off in New York they just don't come over here. And I went home and cried because I was just like but I was like to my mum, can't you just like send me in a box over to New York? Because if you've seen that like Simpsons episode when like Bart he has a fake ID and he takes the car and then they fly home in a massive box, that's how I pictured it. That is how I thought I would see this play. But my mum was like, no, that's not going to happen. So I got the soundtrack and like watched Daniel Radcliffe do Brotherhood of Man on YouTube a million times, and I really wish I could have seen it. But I was in London the other week and we were in the London Underground, and we were going down the escalator, and there was a poster of how to succeed in business without really trying, and I kind of freaked and I was like, but no, it didn't have Daniel Radcliffe in it, it had someone from Lee in it. I was like 6 years of waiting for this like show to come over to England and he's not in it. One day, I swear. So for my 20th birthday, my mum got me tickets to see Daniel Radcliffe in Cripple of Inishmaan. I was really excited about seeing this. It looked like a really good play, and it was actually really funny, and Daniel Radcliffe was amazing in it. But I think I preferred Equus because Daniel Radcliffe in Equus was on stage literally the whole time. Even if he didn't have a scene, he would like go sit on one of the boxes, and I could totally understand why Daniel Radcliffe didn't do that for this play, because obviously he had his like acting to do, and obviously just wouldn't work being on stage for 2.5 hours. But it was a good play. Me and my boyfriend still say references from it, like Mintios. But yeah, it actually, that day means quite a lot to me because it was when I first met Daniel Radcliffe. It's really weird because people think that I haven't met Daniel Radcliffe, but I have. I've met him twice, and obviously like I've seen him in person so many times, like the What If premiere and all this, but I don't go on and on about it. But I have yeah, we the play finished at about 5:30, and we went to the stage door. And basically when you get there, there's like a restaurant, it has the tables between like the two theatres, and we sat there for like 2 hours, and then my boyfriend went, there's 2 actors from the play there, and I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I was just like, well, I won't go over to them while they're eating. And basically Connor McNeil and Sarah Green were sat there eating, and when they finished, loads of us got up to go over to them and like be like, oh my god, you were amazing. And the t-shirt I was wearing, Sarah Green was like, I really like your t-shirt. And I was going to like, Josh, do you think she'll tell Daniel Radcliffe about my t-shirt? And we were just like, oh. But yeah, so it got to about 11 o'clock at night before Daniel Radcliffe came out, and I was like at the front and I was like freaking out. But the thing is, I was getting pushed and shoved even before he even came out, and I was like, oh my god, what is it going to be like when he comes out? And I could see through the little door thing, and I saw him and I was like, oh my god, there he is. And like someone behind me was like, where? And they tried like pushing over me, and I was like, oh my days. And then he came out and he walked past and we went, oh, and the woman was like, oh, don't worry, he's going to come back up this way, and went, yay. And so like I said to like my boyfriend, can you get the programme signed, because I've been watching like stage door videos, and he's sometimes said I can't do a picture and an autograph, so he got the autograph. There's Daniel Radcliffe's signature. And it was really weird because my boyfriend's quite tall, so when he got to Daniel Radcliffe it was like, hello. And he just like talked so casually to Daniel Radcliffe while I was like shaking, and I was like, oh my god, he's getting closer, and I was like, what do I do? And then like, I think my boyfriend knew I wasn't going to talk, so he pointed at me and was like, she's been waiting me like years to meet you. And Daniel Radcliffe turned to me and gave me the biggest grin ever and was like, have you? And I just went, like some kind of noise came out of my mouth. I don't know what I said, but I sort of like, you know when you're about to feel like you're about to pass out, that came over me, and I had to lean on my boyfriend, and like Daniel Radcliffe laughed at me, and I was just like, this is so embarrassing. But so yeah, and then like my boyfriend pointed out the t-shirt Daniel Radcliffe, and he was like, oh my god, love it. And I was just like, I don't know what came over me. I just went so shy, I just couldn't say anything, and I was like, hello. And so like I held up my camera and we got a picture. I look awful. I look so awful because I'm getting so like shoved and he's right next to me, and I was like freaking out. And then because we're nice, me and like I was like, thank you. Like as we moved away, we obviously moved because before people were going to us, I'm short, can I go in front of you? And these people were like up here, and I was like, no, I'm shorter than you. And then my boyfriend was like, we'll move like after we've got our picture, and they were like, oh, okay, thank you. And I was like, well. But yeah, and then I was like, thank you, Daniel Radcliffe, and he's like, you're very welcome. And I was like, ooh. And then like my boyfriend had to drag me out the crowd. I was like freaking out, and then I got out and I bursted into tears, like really happy tears, like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. And I phoned up my mum and I was like, I met Daniel Radcliffe, and even she started crying for me, and it was just like, oh, so much emotion. I literally cried all the way from the theatre to Charing Cross Station. I was still crying when I got there. I was like, can't believe that happened, and I was on like I was like so happy. It was like the best night ever. Like waiting all that time was just so worth it, except I look awful. I look so awful, honestly. Sophie, what did you do? Didn't talk to him and look awful in the picture. I mean, he's been hit popping around stage for like, what, we did 2 performances that day. Honestly, woman. So yeah, Cripple of Inishmaan was a brilliant play. He obviously went to go and do it in Broadway, but it was really good. Just waiting for him to come back to the West End now, so I can hopefully meet him again. But yeah. Okay, so the second time I met Daniel Radcliffe was at London Comic Con, 24th of October 2014. So I heard, like, we got told we had to try and get a band, and you had to get a number ending in the number 5, and I just knew I wasn't going to win because I've never won any sort of raffle in my entire life, like just never. And so my boyfriend was like, oh well, if I get a 5 you can have it. I was like, thank you. And he did. He managed to, like, we went round the second time and he got a wristband, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe you got a wristband. And I was like proper freaking out. I phoned up everyone saying, I'm going to meet Daniel Radcliffe, I'm going to meet Daniel Radcliffe. And it was just like, I was like really freaking out, and I was just like, and the thing is, my boyfriend couldn't come with me, and I was like, what if I can't talk to him again? What if I really mess up again? And like, I was just going through everything that I was going to say or try and say, and I was really freaking out. But yeah, I got my wristband, and so at 5:30 we had to go to the place where, like, they were doing all the signing, and you had like the wristband crossed off so you were like going, and I was like shaking. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to mess up again, I'm going to mess up again. But thankfully I didn't. These have got glue tack on because they're on my wall all the time. This is me shaking Daniel Radcliffe's hand. He was like, hello, very nice to meet you. And I was just like, hi. And he was like, I love your t-shirt. And then like, I was kind of like, this is like last time, so we talk. And so this is me being like, oh, you were amazing. Like, there was a bit of silence. Like, he looked down to sign the autograph. So no, I can't let this happen. You're amazing in horns. And this is him being like, you've seen it already? Sorry about the glue tack. I was like, because obviously it was on Google Play and stuff. And it was just, that's him shocked at the fact that I saw horns. He was like, you've seen it already? He probably didn't know that it was on Google Play. And this is me leaning in for a photo. And then this is the proper photo. I'm so happy that I look better than I did in the one from Cripple. And then this is me. I totally just, after that I just thanked God. I was like, thank you for everything. I love you. You're amazing. Never stop being amazing. And then he was like, this is him being like, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, that's okay. And then he must have had so much fun meeting me, because in the picture I'm walking off, he's still smiling from when he like met me. He's probably thinking, what a weirdo. But I was like so happy. And the thing is, I proper went into like a daze after I met him. I was just like, I didn't know where I was walking. I just was like, and I could just see my boyfriend like, and I was just like, and like again I phoned everyone being like, I met Daniel Radcliffe. And then this is what he signed. It says, to Sophie, love, Daniel Radcliffe. And it was probably the best day of my life. It was so nice like to not have anyone pushing and shoving when I met him. Because even when I went to the What If premiere, when he got to us, my sister looked like she was going to like flip. Because people were holding their phones over her, and there was this one guy, he was literally like pointing his phone at Daniel Radcliffe when he was having an interview done, and it was right over my sister's head, so she went bang and hit the phone out of like focus. It was really funny. Yeah, so this has been my video about my love for Daniel Radcliffe. He's just been, in a way, he's always been like there for me. Like his films have always got me through hard times. Like December Boys got me through school along with Harry Potter, and he's just amazing. And I really hope to meet him again soon, like I will dream. Also, as you can see in my mirror, I have a Daniel Radcliffe wall, but that will be for another time. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Yeah. Before I go, I also have a Daniel Radcliffe cardboard cutout. Oh yeah. It is so cool. I got it for my birthday. That's so terrible. Yeah.